family, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What is up? My name is Raquel Wallace, and hello. Yeah, I know y'all hear a different name. Period. Your girl is married. Anyway, so welcome back to In Session. In being an acronym for the word intentional. So intentional sessions where we do exactly what we're doing here. Today we are debuting our couples card game. Again, like I mentioned to you guys before, we're doing the couples today, but we have individuals, and then stay tuned for the family and friends game. But today I have friends. You see my friends? Like today we have beautiful friends to enjoy the card game with us. So we're gonna go over a specific, well, not a specific, because you guys know it's all randomized. So we're gonna go over some cards, but before we even get into it, we're gonna have everybody introduce themselves. So we'll start to the right of me, because why not? Look who's to the right of me. Hello, let's just start there. So go ahead.
I'm Jess. We've been together for, we're going on 3 years, but we've been married for a little over a month.
Yeah, very. Say it again.
We've been married for a little over a month.
Okay, sorry.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. This is my husband, Ira. We've been together for 15 years, married for 7.
Hi everyone, I'm Shakita. This is David, and we've been dating for about 3 years.
Period. So the way that this is gonna go is we're gonna start to the far right of me. We're gonna have them shuffle the cards, and we're just gonna get started. And again, we shuffle the cards because I don't want anybody to feel like this is a rigged game. Why put their relationship on the spot? Why we doing nothing? No. So this is shuffled. I don't know what the order is or what they even say, to be honest. So let's get into it.
All right, here we go. What does your partner do to make you feel validated?
Words of affirmation.
Oh. It was my turn. Is it what?
I jumped in there.
I like it. He's ready. I like it.
I will say the same, not necessarily like just affirming, but the regurgitation of the conversation, so it lets me know that he listens. Listening.
I like that.
And kind of picking back on what you said. Sometimes in the moment he might not understand, but I think him coming back later on and said, okay, I digest what you said, I'll do better, I'll be mindful.
Yeah.
I think that, can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
What does your partner do to make you feel validated?
I think that just reaffirming, how I am as a father, how I am as a husband, constantly feeding that into me. Kind of for me, it's the hearing it that makes you feel great, lets you know all the things you don't want to do that you are doing is worthy of something when you can at least hear it back.
Yeah. That was
Okay. I'm okay.
So I would say I'm gonna have to piggyback off everybody listening as well, to know that even if we're in the moment and I think that she don't hear me, she'll bring it back and be like, yeah, but you said yesterday at like 12 o'clock that you want to do this, that, and the third. I'm like, oh, you were listening, I thought you weren't. So I appreciate that and support, because she always tells me that she would support me if I wanted to sell paper.
Oh, okay, I'm letting paper.
Paper, her response would be what color. So I just really appreciate the support that she's always willing to offer, no matter how small or how big.
Oh, I love that. I would say so support, but in a different way. I would say support because I have these like grand ideas that may not seem feasible in the moment, but she makes me feel like that's whatever my idea is, it's like it's never too big. And so anything that I come up with, even this game, it's just like she was ready, like, all right, so how are we going to do this? It's always a partnership, so I really do appreciate that. Oh, nice. Okay. We started off good, y'all. We good. All right, so what we're going to do is pass the cards this way. We started off Just pick me top. Starting off pretty good.
Are you with me for a good time or a long time?
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, we started off good. Now
Well,
Well, I say both. That's nice.
yeah, I think in our situation, to be together as long as we have, it has to be both. Because if I'm just with you for a long time, that could probably be boring. So the good times I think needs to happen a lot of the time. So I would go with both.
well, we could go this way and then like that.
I'm gonna have to say a little bit of both as well. Got to. You can't make it from like dating to a marriage without it. And you gotta keep that going to your marriage too. So I feel like good times is good, but I got you. I'm here for the long haul as well.
Nice. I didn't say both in my head. I was like, wow. Because I feel like I'm here for a long time. Let me just answer the question first. And I also feel like there's not always gonna be good times. Like for a long time, just seems like I wake up and I choose you every day, and I feel like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like every day is not gonna be a good day. So if I'm only looking at the aspect of a good time, then we wouldn't be as far as we are today. So I would say long time. Long time, not a good time.
That's fair. Ooh. You broke that down.
I want to
I like
my
that.
asshole.
I like that.
Yeah, you can't go behind that. You gotta go long. You gonna have to go long. My answer now. Nah, won't set me up. A good long time. I'm a good
long time. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm good with that.
Honestly, when the question was first read, I wanted to say both. But I do respect your answer. So while I feel like both can still be true,
Yeah.
I do align more with just a long time versus both, because as stated, like it ain't going to always be good times. It's going to be definitely ups and downs through thick and thin. So I would say for a long time.
Yeah, nice. You want to say something? You can.
So my thing is, right?
Okay.
When you think about the aspect of a long time,
Okay.
right? Marriage is supposed to be till death do you part, of course. But everyone is human.
Yeah.
So when you take out, like, you only can, like, how long do you go a long time without having a good time? That's
Nice.
kind of why I thought about both.
Give
Because for me,
it.
there has to, like, for me, there has to be a good time. Like, I'm constantly working at giving her what she wants or doing something that she wants to do, because if you go a certain period of time without anything good, it can cause turmoil.
Yeah.
It can cause hatred. It can cause exhaustion.
Yeah.
And it can cause a feeling of like, oh, do they still appreciate me?
Yeah.
And I feel like for the good times, you have to work just as hard because you're constantly changing every day. So your good time today may not be your good time a year from now. We have to constantly change with each other.
Yeah.
So you are always working to make sure that, not every experience, but you want a lot of the experience to be good.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
You don't want to go a long time being miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because yes, death do
Made
you
that
part,
up.
but you know, you don't want to die miserable.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, I just when I was giving the answer, I kind of thought about it like, but you want to have that, like, I wanted to like agree after you get your answer, because I'm like, hold up, yeah, a long time is. But then I was like, when I think about like when I don't work for something that she wants, I'm miserable. Like she may voice she's miserable, but I'm quiet miserable. And it's like I'm like, I gotta do this, I gotta be able to like get this done because I want to get it done, because I want to see her like happy. It doesn't matter if you're happy next week because of something else.
Yeah.
So it's like, y'all answers made me think. It really made me think a little bit.
Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, so I had 2 points. So I feel like it's all about interpretation, how you interpret the question, because I actually interpreted it a few different ways. But I feel like a good time is incorporated in that long time, because just because it's a long time doesn't mean that we're just speaking long time. Like, it's figuratively saying, like, I'm in it for the long haul, through the good, the bad, through the ups and downs. And that's what made me, as we were discussing, just keeping the card at just what it is. Because that card, by societal norms, a good time is almost like hitting it or quitting it, or something short term.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why, at first I just wanted to jokingly say, both, kicks and giggles, but after, like, truly thinking about it, that's why I stuck with the long time, because I'm like, of course we want to go deep with it, but I didn't want to overanalyze the question. So the question at face value is, am I here for just a short time? Like, it may be, I don't know if you're my person, my right one, or like, nah, I'm rocking out with you, we sticking it through.
Yeah.
So that's what made me just stick with the long time versus going with both.
You know what? You just ended, because I didn't even think about that at all.
Yeah.
So that just made me think, okay, short-term relationship, long-term relationship. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with both, and I know that's not helpful, but I would agree with both. Just on the aspect of when I first heard the card, I did think of societal norms of like, are we just hitting it and quitting it? Like, are you just here for like what I can give you right now, or are you interested in like the delayed gratification part, which is what you said, of like, well, I like to work towards like making you happy, or I like to know what I have to do to make that because that makes you happy. I think, I guess towards my answer was just to, I didn't want to, the way I seen it personally is that I didn't want to mask the fact that a relationship takes work, and it's not always the good times like what you mentioned. What you mentioned. So I didn't want to say like a good time, because for me anyway, it just felt like it was just a short-term thing, because good times can be short-term, whereas like a long time is a long time. I'm here for you through the good times, the bad times, whatever times, in general. But all aspects is good.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about
that. I like that.
That was a dope question.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that. And everybody had their own.
Yeah.
It meant something different to
I
everybody.
think with time,
That's what's
time really there.
Time,
like,
yeah.
dictated a little bit.
Nice. Wait, no. Wait.
I guess all
As
the
long as
girls
y'all
know.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
That was the set. You said we're doing questions
thought we
about
was
couple.
talking
Yeah.
Oh,
My bad. That was on me. Do your thing.
What lessons have you learned from our most recent disagreement?
Hold on.
At least I get to go last.
Well, what you think?
Oh, I was supposed to answer. What have I learned from the most recent disagreement?
What was our most recent disagreement? I think we should start there.
I think we should start there. I would say our most recent disagreement. I should listen. I should listen. Sometimes it's like she talking, and she's saying something, but I'm hearing another way, and I'm like, yeah, nah, so, and it's like I'm just being combative. When if I would have just listened to her the first time, we would have been cool.
I'm about to fall out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I think listen. Our last disagreement was about literally like I just wasn't listening, and I was being combative for no reason. If I would have heard her, I'd be like, oh, this isn't what she's saying, and we don't even need to be disagreeing. So I would say that I learned that I need to listen, because I don't be listening sometimes, and I can admit that.
This is what this game is about. Cause wow, you. Because that was just the other day. I don't know. But, okay, so I'll answer it. I think what I would learn from my last disagreement is to relax. Like, nothing, it's not always like at 1,000. Like, it's sometimes things are not as big as they may seem. And also, I would say understand how your partner copes. Because my style of like, I don't know, I just be wondering like, how you not understanding what I'm saying, you know? And for me, anyway, I feel like I say it every other way but Chinese, like, you know, because I don't know it. So I just feel like maybe it's just like, maybe me just being patient, relax, just take a step back and just be like, okay, maybe they need a moment to process what it is that I'm saying. And maybe it's not me, you know, like, I guess with my overall background, I just be like, all right, maybe I say a different way. And I'm just cramming out different ways to say the same thing. And then I'm getting frustrated. And in reality, it's like, you just needed a second. So I guess just like learning ways, or learning that she copes differently than I do. And maybe it's not about the way I said it. Maybe she just needs that time to process what I'm saying. And I don't have to keep like jamming it in like 1,001 different ways.
Nice, but.
Alright.
What's on me? What was the question?
What lessons have you learned from our most recent disagreement?
So the disagreement, I'll give y'all a context what the disagreement was. Me not wanting to put together something for a bit. So that gives them context of what the disagreement is. So she comes to me, there's a package at the door, I bring the door. I'm disgruntled about getting the package from the door to bring it up the steps. And then she wants me to put it together. I got you. I'm going to pick the package up and bring it up the steps. Now you want me to put the package together with you. And I'm like, nah, I just don't want to do it right now. And she's super excited about this package. More so than I am. So the disagreement is that I wasn't ready to do it. You was ready. And then that you had to cope with however you was feeling about it. And I had to realize you needed a second. And I wasn't matching your level of excitement for what it was. And I realized before you came downstairs, I was like, well, she needs me to be a little bit more excited about something she's getting for me. And as you coming down, you're like, oh, you didn't know this was for you. And I'm like, I did know. But I still wanted to, like, that was my way of saying I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to say, like, all right, I apologize about that because I wasn't matching that energy. And your excitement was high. And I was just like, I'm not just excited about this as you are, but okay, let's go. And I watched you put it together, and that for me was good because then I could say, all right, I can take a step back and like get out my feelings. Because I was in my feelings about not wanting to do it. But your feelings are like a little bit more, because, you know, the long haul of it, you're going to feel bad about it. And it's something good in the situation. And it doesn't even need to be there. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, man, all right, how can I like make this up for her? I just allowed you to be you, allowed you to be excited. It's this whole way doing it. You take her through the whole thing, and I'm just like, she's super excited about this. And I'm just like, all right, I can give her a little bit of energy. All right, and it was a great gift.
Sidebar, I didn't get that energy.
But I did tell you it was a great gift.
You did.
I did. I was like, this is a great gift. No shade about it, nothing compared to what I was coming with. I was like, oh, this is perfect. So yes. So I did learn a little bit from that. Even though it was all on me, like, I didn't give you the proper energy, but I realized.
No, you're okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad we agreed on what our disagreement was. To add a little more context, it was his early birthday gift. He gamed, so he needed a gaming chair, so that's what I got. So the lesson that I learned was patience and understanding, like, he didn't do anything wrong. Because I did storm upstairs, like, I'm going upstairs. I'm not staying down here because he's watching TV
I left that out too.
Because I was in my feels, and not necessarily mad at him. I was just upset that it didn't go how I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
But I quickly realized it was me. And I came downstairs, and my way of saying sorry was, "Babe, you ready to eat?" It was just, I was just overly excited to pour into him how I see he poured into me and others. So like, I definitely just like wanted him to experience what he showed me or what he had me experience. So when he didn't, I just kind of felt with my feelings. But I had to realize he was smack dab in the middle of an anime show on Netflix. So I'm interrupting him. So I had to take ownership that I feel like it fell on me, and I had to check myself that he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's go.
Alright.
We're here.
What was the question?
What's your question?
I get the basis of it. I just don't-
Yeah.
What lessons have you learned from our most recent disagreement?
I can't remember our most recent disagreement. I think we've been together for a long time, so I think overall I've learned that the way you handle stuff is not the way that I handle stuff. And that the way like I react to stuff and want things done isn't how you always want it to be done. So I've learned to be accommodating and see things from both sides. You know, we have 2 young kids. I work hard. Sometimes I get home, the house is dirty, and I'm like, you know, stuff needs to be clean, stuff needs to be this. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't see why I'm cleaning. Why are you not cleaning? Relaxing. But then, over the years, I've come to realize, like, listen, you know, stuff that's bothering me isn't necessarily going to bother him.
Yeah.
And if, like, you know, like, me wanting it to be clean and all that stuff and going through that, like, that's stuff that bothers me. But I can't force him to be that way. So I think that's kind of what I've learned. And then kind of just, he says I'm indirect. Our son is kind of, I feel like he gets this from me. But kind of say what you mean. And not kind of say it the other way. Because like I would be frustrated about something and just be frustrated. And I'm like, okay, what you frustrated for? And like just say what I'm frustrated for instead of being like, now you see me cleaning. Like, I'm slamming the Lysol. I'm doing the cabinet. Like, don't nobody see me cleaning. The kids, everybody making the mess. I'm in here cleaning. So it's like what you frustrated for. And just saying, hey, you know, can you help me clean up? Or can you do this? And that sometimes stuff is going to be okay. But he knows that I'm like, I like to know what stuff is going to be happening. Yeah. He's more like, oh, it'll be taken care of. I'm like, no, I got to know what. But,
I feel that.
That's why we're friends.
No, I know my stuff. I want to know. No, I relax once it's taken care of. He's more like, oh, it'll fall into place. No, let me get it taken care of and then relax. And sometimes I know, like I try to stick on him about stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let him be. He's his own. You know.
I feel that.
He's his own person. He's not like how, like, you know, we're on our own two people. So I've learned to be accommodating and accept him for who he is, and I think he accepts me for who I am. And sometimes he'll just say,
I'm listening to you. Hey!
You know, you need to slow down. You need to calm down. Take a deep breather. And I think he usually, our arguments usually because I probably forgot something, but my brain is. Sometimes he says something and I don't, you know, I'm like, oh, you said that, I'm bad.
Yeah. I feel that.
It's a lot. It's a long day. Like I said, we got 2 young kids and lunches need to be made and clothes need to be put out and somebody needs to bath and all this other stuff. So sometimes you got to slow down and listen.
I feel like that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember the question?
I do.
Okay.
You know,
Just
I do.
making sure. I was just saying.
I had 2 answers though.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, the last disagreement, I had to sit and think with myself. Like, I think sometimes I can be on 10 and I can be yelling at the kids about something they're doing. And, you know, she can say like, why you yelling at them over something like that? And versus me like coming down to a 5 and saying, what do you mean? Like, you know, I may still stay at that 10 and be like, what?
Yeah.
Like don't offend him right now. So our last disagreement, I think for me, over time, it's hard for me to turn it off. Like, I'm the same way whether you are my kid, my friend, my brother, my sibling. Like, I'm the same way, and I have to like turn it off. So like our last disagreement, I would say that I kind of had to tell myself like, you still have some more work to do when it comes to turning it off. Like, because I can be at a 10 and then 20 minutes later, I'm back at the 1, but like now, like, well, I don't need to go to her and fix it because I said sorry when I was at a 10. When, you know, I was at that 1 when I was responding and apologizing, you know, it wouldn't even be something I think about 20 minutes later. So for me, it's just kind of understanding. I think when I'm at 10, it doesn't matter who's around. And I have to understand that, like, yeah, you've been working on it, but work on it harder. Because there's always room to grow. So I think I would improve with that because I can be loud, and I think loud can be confused with angry, or it can be confused with, you know, not caring. When that ain't what it is, it's just, I'm loud already. So if you piss me off just a little bit, like, you're gonna hear me down the street. Like, so, you know, just understanding that you could be talking to the kids and she may say something. So respond, like, understand that you're no longer talking to the kids and try to bring the volume down real quick versus like slowly. So I think that's where I would, like, I think that's where my mind has been since the last disagreement. What is one childhood value you brought into your relationship? I think for me, I was raised by a single mom who raised 4 boys pretty much by herself. Like, my years of my dad as far as like taking care of the household stopped when I was like 7. So for me, I watched my mom do everything she had to take care of the house. So for me, I learned how to be very resourceful as far as like bills, if things need to get fixed, if things need to get bought, paid for, whatever. Like, I figure out a way. Like, if there's a way, I got it. You know, I think for me, watching my mom take care of a household, it didn't matter whether we were, you know, in an apartment or in a 4-bedroom house. It seemed like, you know, my mom made anything appear that we needed to. So for me, it was always like, do everything that you have to for your family. Your family is everything that is in your household. So, you know, I pride myself on her not having to deal with the bills. You know the bills are being paid. You just know that you don't have to stress about it. You know, I pride myself on, as soon as you think there's not a way, there is a way. Being able to have the hard conversations with companies. You know, no matter what you're going through, like, I'm that guy. Like, if I need to switch up and be able to have that difficult conversation, I can. So I think what I brought from my childhood is just that thick skin to where it takes a lot to get to me. And like, I'll notice like she's nervous about, you know, different things, and I'll look at her like, you know, I remember that. It's already situated. Because, you know, like, I've learned not to stress about things I can't control. So bringing that in, I felt like was a huge asset, because if you've never had to really live that life of, you know, what's going to happen tomorrow, then you don't know what you need to worry about, or you don't know like the severity. You'll see a, you know, shut off notice and you'll be like, what the hell? And for me, I'm like, I wish you would. Like, you know, like I watched my mom say like, I bet you turn the shit off. Like then that's just what it was. So I carry myself like, I don't care what you're going through. We're gonna be good. You don't even gotta, don't stress about it. Yeah, you don't see me stressing about it. But that doesn't mean I'm not worried about it. And like that was my mom. Like I never knew whether things were good or bad unless she verbally said it to me. Because her course of day is I'm doing what I do for my family. It doesn't matter if I'm mean. It doesn't matter if I'm nice. My kids got a household. I got food in the refrigerator. I got the bills paid. That's all that matters. So like I walk into, and it's a part of my growth. Like I walk into every situation like I control it. And if I don't control it, it's not that deep. And, you know, I feel like that's an asset that I brought in because, you know, she may not have lived with that. You know, she may have lived a completely different experience. I grew up with one parent, even though my dad lived in the same city. You know, so, you know, that's for me what I brought in.
So I think I kind of piggyback off of what Raquel said. Kind of same similar situation. I grew up with a two-parent household for the majority of my life, but my parents really didn't have a good functional relationship. A lot of toxicity. So a lot of the times it was kind of my mom doing her own thing with her kids. All right, it's me and my girls. We doing our own thing. We don't know where your dad is. You know, truthfully, a lot of holidays they were married, but Christmas might have been just with my mom and her family because they just didn't get along. So kind of, I think, kind of combat that kind of trying to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that with my kids. And he'll hear me say even the simplest thing, like my son wants to buy lunch every Friday. And I'm like, oh no, my baby's going to buy lunch. Like stuff that I just couldn't do as a kid. Like I'm just fighting so hard for them to be heard and be seen and kind of, you know, not that I didn't have a good life, but there wasn't as much affection. You know, like as far as like, oh, you know, I love you and hug you. So he drives me crazy with my two boys, but I'm just, you know, I love you. You're like the best person in the world. Oh my goodness. But I think one good childhood value that came out of that was kind of just the push. Don't count yourself out, which he knows I still do. He's like, you know, you got it.
As you look at like it's crazy. She'll count herself out as she's getting the work done. And I'm like, what the I'm like, bro, like, what do you mean you complain about that? You telling me she can rattle off shit, and you'll be like, what do you mean you stressing over that? You just told me all the fucking answers. Like, and she'll be like, yeah, but still. And I'm like, what? Like, girl, you got it. Like, I'm that person, like, I'm not stressing over what you stressing over. You got the shit. Yeah. You just told me anything you need to know, and you told me you stressing over it. And I'll be like, what?
I see you. I see you, brother.
I'll be like,
same thing. I see you. Same thing.
You know, just that drive to get stuff done, not to quit, never to get up. I've tried not to ever give up. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it. Pushing that with my kids, you know, one thing growing up, it was never acceptable to give up. It was never, you know, and that's kind of like, we've had that argument of like, you know, even with education of kids, I'm like, you know, no, my kids are going to be educated, they're going to go to college, you're going to do your best, you know, but that's one value that I had growing up, like, you're going to do your best. And I think also kind of growing up, you know, I grew up in the suburbs, sometimes the only black kid, and kind of, you know, my dad would tell me, you're not going to embarrass me, you're not going to embarrass us, so you better get in there and, you know, act like you got 6 cents, act right. And I think that's kind of like the value that I'm like, you know, kind of hold yourself above. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. Don't settle. You know, not that, you know, it's okay if you want to be mediocre, but we push them for more than that. So I think that's a value that I've always taken from childhood, that, you know, no matter where you came from, no matter where you begin with, as long as you keep pushing. And that's kind of one thing that, you know, I've taken with me, and I hope, you know, my kids take with them. you know, despite everything else.
Nice. Well, thank you all for joining us, and thank you so much for participating. For all that is viewing, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment. For all the people who hear this audio version on platforms, make sure you leave a comment, tell me how good we did, and I'll let them know. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Oh my God, this was so good. Thank you. I'm just like, let's cut, because I just want to talk to y'all individually. But thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for more conversations like this.
That's right.
Period.